Angela Helvey, a master gardener, produced through coursework at the Missoula County Extension Office in 1991. Each gardener is asked to give something back to the community in return for the free coursework they received. For my project, I decided to look into native plant gardening in the Missoula area. My interest stemmed from the observation that Montanans may have to start being more conscious of their water consumption, as Californians have had to be. Californians are said to be practicing xeriscaping, which is spelled Xeriscaping, which means gardening with plants that require less water. In other words, native plants. In the book, 50 Simple Things You Can Do to Save the Earth by the Earthworks Group, this is discussed. They mention that drought-tolerant plants in one's garden need not only be cacti and succulents. Klaus Lackschewitz is considered to be Missoula's foremost scholar on native plants. He has written 2 books. Plants of West Central Montana, Identification and Ecology, an annotated checklist, produced in 1986, and now just out, Vascular Plants of West Central Montana in 1991, both produced by the Forest Service. David Crabtree, master gardener and teacher, and I went to take a look at Klaus's garden on May 9th and again on June 11th.
I'm here today, David Crabtree, with Klaus Lackschewitz, and we're in his home up the Rattlesnake outside of Missoula, and we're going to look around Klaus's garden today. Klaus, would you like to tell us when you started here and how old this garden is?
We moved over here in June 1969. And I was the first summer and fall to get acquainted with it and to plant according to the given conditions. And
did you live elsewhere in Missoula first?
Yes, we lived in the end of 6th Street. Okay. For 8 years.
And what did this area look like when you moved in? Was
it was very different.
So in the first 3 years, you got trees and shrubs on the place.
Yeah.
And you got them from pretty much all over.
All over, yeah. Some
Central Canada.
Right. And here.
Locally, yeah. And then, when did you start sort of, I mean, I see there's a lot of flowers. I mean,
yeah.
To me, the most attractive part of your garden is all the herbaceous material, the perennials.
Yeah, yeah. My interest was mainly for perennials. Also, I like the trees and shrubs too. And I think it's the perennial garden will not, in my experience, I've seen many perennial gardens, many beautiful gardens in Europe, in Central Europe, and England, and they don't live, in very few cases, live longer than the ones who founded them. You know, they lose their character or just...
The gardens, yeah. Once the gardener is gone,
the trees
are gone.
They stay. And then a place like mine could be, much easier to take care of if there were more shrubberies and less perennials.
True, yeah. Well, why don't you show us some of these primroses and things?
This is mainly there are two kinds of two species, European species of primrose, and that seeds itself. And
so you have 4 kinds of primroses in here. You have Primula vulgaris.
Yeah.
You have Vera, Acaris, and Denticulata.
Right. Yeah.
And then, what about this pretty little ground covering?
That is, if it was found in the United States, it would be called Mertensia. It's the next relatives of Mertensia are the lungworts, the pulmonaria in Europe. This is Pulmonaria cerulea.
Pulmonaria cerulea.
And the other one, which I have too, is officinalis, the spectral leaves. The popular name is the Scottish oak.
Right. Okay, well, we'll move... Oh, your anemone, is it?
Yeah. And that is not, it's not a real
Anemopsis.
Yeah. Isn't this lovely?
Yeah, it's
And
beautiful.
it came, I don't know from where, but I can probably Wisconsin. I got it with
It's a real tongue twister. Anemonopsis.
and seed itself, yeah. Anemonopsis talictoides. Talictoides, that means the leaf is much like here, this talictum, the meadow rule.
Oh, yeah.
Is similar like that.
And then you have some wild ginger back there too, don't you?
Yeah. That is here from Loxo.
Okay. Well, we'll look at some other spots in your garden here.
Yeah, then I planted 6 thalliums, I remember, first year, second year. All these are seedlings. And the most remarkable native here is, I think, the low plants is yellow thread.
The
Coptis, yeah.
Certainly is a nice little shiny ground cover.
Yeah, except there it had not enough snow cover when we had the
brown grass.
But
Can we look at the ask flower?
yeah, now that is a remarkable plant. But
It's a native?
it is not the native. It's European, yeah. It's Podophylla halleri.
Okay, this is a European pasque flower.
Yeah, and lots of seedlings around. And I have given that to many gardeners here. If you see this, I think even Karas has it from.
Sure.
It stems from here originally. And there you see a hybrid. It is
Hybrid between what?
between Podophylla patens and or anemone patens and
The
anemone
European.
halleri. Yeah.
So this is a sunny area, right? This is
This is a sunny area.
a combination of ground covers and
Yeah.
sort of drought tolerant types of plants.
Yes. Amazingly. well.
This is a native, correct?
Yeah, that is our kinnick.
Knick.
Yeah. And,
What else are you trying to get
yeah,
going back
mainly.
here? This
There was a little fight with my wife. She said it's enough of the juniper, and I wanted to have it all over here. She said that's her window here,
and
she
some
wants
flowers
to-
in, Klaus.
Yeah. So it is actually it's a nuisance. The slope is much too steep.
Oh, you have a mountain mahogany.
There's a mountain mahogany.
Yeah, another native.
Yeah.
Southwestern Montana.
Yeah, and that is from the area of Crabtree when you Westford Whittle.
Okay.
And
And how do you keep the deer out of this place?
it's a tall fence.
The tall fence.
Since I have the 8 feet tall,
Okay.
because until then we had no tulip was ever flowering as long as there was no fence. And then
Wreak havoc on your flowers.
later I specialized in rosebuds.
I can relate. I have the same problem. I like that sorbus. That's a beautiful tree.
Yeah, it's still more showy and front of ours.
Yeah, sure. Okay, well, we'll look elsewhere then. Should we go out front then, or would you like to? Oh,
You go up and then
okay.
you lead us. Nice line here.
Okay, use the hose to form the nice
Every
curve.
single rock here I have closed in a certain place. I remember 25 years ago, the neighbor, Dr. Brown, was there, looked and said, "You will stand here after 20 years and not say, how could I ever move this rock?"
Yeah.
And I'm now in that stage. I can do it.
Those are those. That's a species tulip, isn't it?
Oh, which, yeah. Oh, the tulip, you mean?
Yeah, the tulip.
Yeah,
Preston?
Prestons.
Yeah,
Prestons,
Preston,
yeah.
That's one of the tulips from which the modern garden tulips were bred then. Isn't that correct?
Yes, too. And lots of Kaufmanniana in it too. And Gregia is
The one with the reddish
flat leaves.
leaves in there.
I think the most important tulips are for me the red ones.
Oh, we have another type of primrose.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Auricula.
Auricula.
Yeah.
This is a nice, beautiful thing about primroses. They're so early and they're so hardy.
Yeah.
You know? Just a perfect plant for Montana.
This is one of the hardiest.
The auriculas.
Yeah, auriculas. And in other areas, you know, you can't have them. Like New York is a nice climate, nice. Here one. And nice, I like them, especially the blue colors. Great range of very different colors.
Sure, yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. It's early spring flowers.
And then the tree there, you see on that side, is Thomas Paris, this is European chocolate. And it has flowers by nature, very rich always, and has a heavy flowers which are and I like it very much. It grows in the tree here on that May Day tree. But there's a certain reason why the nurserymen don't recommend it to you. It is much more prone to diseases than our native one. And this one smut, the
foliar disease. Oh, black knot on the stems.
Yeah. Is very. I have to prune it out more and more every year.
Yeah.
But it's still beautiful.
Mayday tree. It is becoming more and more common in the nursery trade.
Yeah. It is. It's the first flowers. First tree flowers. Flowers earlier than the fruit trees.
Well, perhaps some of the newer varieties are more resistant to disease than the species. We'll have to hope that that's the case, anyways, because black knot is a problem. You're right.
See, that is again the
Sorbus decora.
What is
this white
Arabis
rock crust?
Rock crust, the common one. I think it comes from the Caucasian mountains originally. It's no flowering and has a decent.
And then this is Arbrecia, right? Arbrecia. So these are what Arbrecia's Mediterranean plants?
Mediterranean. I have seen it on the big Crabtree.
Northern Italy.
And then here for summer color, there are delphiniums and a succession of blue flowers for a long time. Delphiniums, then balloon flower. You can see it only when you know where.
Balloon flower, platycodon.
Yeah, platycodon. And then monadas. And its monadas are flowering. It's exactly when the last flower here, then the hummingbird goes. And as long as they flower, through July, August,
they stay with you. Huh?
Yeah.
I love them red flowers.
The delphinium are past, and there are two kinds, so they're not all flowering at the same time. Right. Then the Veronica comes, the tall Veronica.
More blue. You like the blue, yeah.
The combination of blue and red and white. I could use more white. I think I will have some spot of white.
So what you've got is many of the classic garden perennials, as well as an admixture of native plants, species from Europe that you like in particular.
Right.
And how do you water these? I mean, because they're probably will need some supplemental water in summer.
Very much so. Very much so. It's a main job during the summer. Of course, weeding and watering.
Weeding.
Yeah. And regarding the jobs, I think I'm now at the stage where I have the first weeding is done, and the first transplanting of all the perennials, if there was transplanting needed, and a few are planted every year. It's something new, not much, but 1 to 3 or so.
Do you divide some of them too?
Lots are divided. And try to give them away, if not, and throw them away.
Gets too crowded otherwise.
Yeah. But the idea is I have a frame of fall flowering things here, and that is our asters. The New York asters and England asters and some very small ones, very low ones, and then chrysanthemums combined.
For
And if
autumn,
you see now, I could point out a zigzag line here from of the things not flowering now, but
in autumn.
into November, frost permitting. And it's remarkable how the tall blue daisies, the Michaelmas daisies, how frost resistant they are.
That's correct.
The last flowers.
Right
left
into November.
Yeah.
Freeze solid, and they're still going.
Yeah, right.
So what's down in that big area over there? That's probably the largest single part of the garden, isn't it?
Yeah.
Around the bird cherry.
Around bird cherry. Yeah. Here I must confess, around bird cherry and in the between the bird cherry and the birch, there is a wild garden. Of course, it's a wild garden. There's no border, and there are things left to themselves. And I had never expected before that my beloved Campagna pellicifolia could be such a nuisance. It was not so in my home country where it's native, and it was not so in New York, but I experience it here. It's grows everywhere, seeds itself out, and I think.
But that whole area under there is very shady, right? It's smack dab under a tree.
Yeah.
So certain things will prosper under there and others not.
Right, yeah.
Should we go down and look at that area?
Yeah,
I can see some peonies and some...
Yeah, peonies are here.
Yeah.
And that's again a early flowering. It's not a common peony, it's, what is it?
Yeah, we'd like to look at that maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, after 20 years of gardening in the same spot, you must sort of get the weeds under control.
Oh yeah.
So when you weed the garden, you just kind of thinning the plants out and...
Yeah, I try now to give myself the possibility to work with a little hoe. It goes so much faster. And if you do it in time, as long as weeds are small, warm weather comes now. In the morning I use a hoe. More, and that could do somebody else too. Inside the old
woodpeckers.
Yeah, there's
You got to suet out.
Yeah, I had this daphne flowers throughout April. Yeah, and it's still a little bit left of it. Yeah. This is the old bush there that planted first year.
The oldest daphne here.
Yeah.
Have you ever known it not to flower? Or is it seemingly completely hardy?
It is completely hardy.
Not like forsythia then?
No. It's much hardier. It is, it's a native in my country, in the Baltics. And there's, Baltics is like here in the northwest, it's everything close to the sea, the milder climate. But I'm from the interior, and that's like Sarmatic, the Russian climate there, like Moscow about.
Where are you from originally?
Baltic states. I'm from Latvia and Estonia likewise. My first memory started in what is today Estonia, and then I became a Latvian citizen, the Latvian army, before I left the German army in my home country.
And then did you come over after the war or something?
No, right. After the war we were 350,000 Germans, not from Germany, driven out of the Eastern European states, South and North, both Eastern European.
So you're a Prussian heritage, sort of?
No, actually not.
No.
We were very long. The Germans were 700 years in that country there, and my family was there. My own name is 300 years, but I have ancestors there. They were there since the 13th century.
Is that right? In Estonia, Latvia?
Yeah. The towns I found were Germans. Christianity was brought in with fire and sword by the Teutonic Order.
Well, what shall we look at now? We'll go over, look at this flower bed here?
This here is new,
That's your new.
Yeah. And that has his story is that Gertrude wanted to have berries. And I was not very fond of berries, but well, I could see that we would enjoy having them. And then I built the border and you know, tried to do it in a similar style like that. But
So you have
nobody wanted to look at the bare border for a long time. So I planted some cut flowers there, mainly cut flowers. I have about 13 plants of...
Rudbeckias.
Yeah, the Gloriosa daisies, you know, for cutting.
And those are currants and...
Yeah.
Black currants or what?
No, black currant is only the one in the bush. It's a gold currant.
Okay.
Black currant is forbidden. You can't have it.
Well, there is one variety that doesn't carry that.
And doesn't have the taste. Yeah.
So you've got the Ribes aureum, the native currant?
Yeah. And I like that one. It's a pretty...
So what are these others, red currants?
That's a red currant and this is a gooseberry. Two gooseberries.
Oh, gooseberries,
Yeah. And this is the interesting thing, that is Corydalis aurea here. It's a native.
Oh,
and in here I didn't plant it there.
You didn't?
I had it planted it once somewhere at the other side of the house. And then every year it popped up somewhere, you know.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that's typical for
Does
this
it have
plant.
little yellow flowers?
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Yeah.
very nice.
And this is Dipsophylla with white
Baby stuff.
double flowers. And yeah, the big bush there was overgrown with grass. I have to get the grass out.
Replant it.
And I broke it up.
And then you have Shasta daisies, Gloriosa daisies, things like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Cut flowers.
Cut flowers, yeah. And there again, my most liked Poetus narcissus. And here came another plant I brought in. It wasn't needed, you know. It's here the tree too. It's not a. It's a Manchurian anemone, tall and pink flowering, you know, pretty long time. And it was planted there and it won't stay there. It came down to
Manchurian anemone.
Anemone. Proper name. Some call it Japanese or Chinese, but it's
Klaus, this tree over here. When I was here, this is the Turkish tree hazel, right?
Yeah. Take it out. It's
Corylus colurna.
right, exactly.
And that winter of '89 that killed the flathead cherries killed the top of that tree. But I see it's still alive all around the bottom.
Yeah, but it's ugly and it doesn't fruit, you know, it doesn't flower at all.
Do you think it's ugly?
Have to
Did you plant that, or how did it get here?
I can tell you the story.
From Turkey.
No. I had seen it in the Dahlem Botanical Garden. It was very
where?
big.
What
Dahlem,
botanical?
Dahlem. It's a famous botanical garden in Germany.
Down.
As you know, Alexander von Humboldt has been given plants there to foster it. You know,
For years,
time it was found. And they had it flowering there, but there were 3 or 4 trees, and they have a very regular growth.
Yeah, they're
very pretty growth, and by full flowering, then you should see them when the catkins were hanging out, very regular.
They were pretty.
Very pretty. Yeah.
So why do you say it's an ugly tree?
I told it is not. This is here.
Okay, the half-dead tree is ugly. I get it.
And I told Schön Pries about it.
Yeah.
And Schön came on in some previous 2 or 3. He had extra boat for me somewhere. I don't know where, for some ordered.
He had little plants or seeds?
No, trees.
Oh, little trees.
They were about this tall already.
So how old is that?
That was
20
must
years
have been.
You know,
got it. I got. It was right the first year we were here. Yeah, 70. It's 20 years old. Yeah.
You know, on account of that's probably the only Turkish hazel in Missoula. I wouldn't just take the dead out and leave it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we won't have one. You know?
Yeah.
We always know where to come to look at it.
Yeah. okay, I wanted to, right now I haven't talked to Rose Bagley here, the neighbor, and I wanted to chat it out.
Yeah.
I asked him whether I could plant it on his property, because I really felt I had no place.
Maybe you could cut the main stem, and that major, you see that major sprout that's coming out on the left? See that one that goes from the base? Maybe leave that in, and possibly it will reestablish as a tree.
Yeah, well, let's wait a little bit. I've got the suspicion that it...
It's got a lot of good growth on it. You can see quite a few leaves and things coming in.
You know what because it grows slightly different. I don't want to see it, that's a fact, but I have this suspicion that there's a possibility that they were oculated, they were, grafted on the stock of
the different hazel.
Yeah, because this looks like a common. I show you I have it. And here the honeysuckle. First took it, but it is it comes from down below. Because the grain I bought it at the fragrance was not fragrant at all.
Do the hummingbirds like it?
Yeah, they visited. But nothing.
Not like the monarda.
No. The monarda and the females were constantly good.
Nice, the sun's coming out.
Yeah.
That's all these delphiniums and columbines and things combine to make a very attractive garden, even when they're not in flower, really, because of the textures of the foliage and the differences of the foliage.
And something I like very much is the bordering plants, along the rocks, if they are evergreen.
Yeah.
See them to get around.
That's right.
Yeah. This was very pretty here. Now it looks wild. This was the orange crocus, yellow with orange, bright color.
Yes.
And grew out of a purple, everything was like this here. It's a winter color here, reddish.
Oh, it was really yellow. I think that's my favorite color, is crocus yellow, that pure egg yolk yellow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Now these were the peonies I noticed from up on top.
Yeah.
They're not your normal peony, are they?
No.
These are...
Tinglefolia, I think is the new one. It's a southern Russian, southern Siberian,
Is that the peony that you occasionally see it called fernleaf peony? Or is it
fernleaf is still something different.
It is
still something different. Yeah. That is, I like this modern fernleaf.
What color are the flowers?
The flowers are very pretty red. It's a full peony red, carmine.
Oh, you got a little catnip here.
That's catnip, yeah. And it does very well. Got plenty of seedlings if you want some.
Do the cats like this? This isn't the regular catnip.
No. I wouldn't know, because strange cats are not.
You don't get cats too often.
No, I have a cat here, a white cat, but he doesn't.
Maybe it's not the same as regular catnip as far
no,
as that.
It isn't.
Yeah. That's a pretty much more refined catnip than the common catnip.
Oh, this common is Nepeta cataria. This is a Nepeta too, but I don't know which one.
It's not that mucini, is it? No. That's one you see around. Oh yeah. Now you've got Trolleus out already. Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's the first one.
So nice.
And I got it for a long season. I got the very light yellow. And the more orange one. And then I got the Trolleus Siberius. And the other Trolleus plants there on that border are Trolleus Siberius, which is bright orange.
And we're not quite into their blooming season, but we're just a week too early.
Right. After a week, there's this flower.
Yeah, another week. These sort of early spring, sort of spring show will be in full, won't it?
And some pretty things and very, very long lasting here. That is this here is that is statis.
Oh yeah, it's
a blue flower statis.
Status, the perennial status.
Yeah. Very fine flowers, like a blue veil.
Yeah, again, it's very nice, pleasing textures and foliage.
Phloxes.
And you have Dutchman's breeches on there?
Yeah.
The white, little white.
Yeah, do you have a name for that? I don't find it in course. Not in Hitchcock.
Oh, it is native?
It is native. It's not native in Montana, so it's
Idaho or
the northwest. And the other one is a clear. This is the Santa Cocularia, very pretty, but it's gone now. The other side, I'll show you.
So all these plants in here are very shade tolerant, and they this is your what you call your wild garden. You just let pretty much let these go.
Yeah. And now I go in only to weed things out. I want to succeed here, like the bloodroot. I keep free of encroaching.
Oh, the big clump is bloodroot back there.
Bloodroot, in front of the daphne.
Oh, is that not Amanopsis again? Further back?
It's anemone piperi.
Okay, the big white clump.
Yeah.
Anemone piperi. And where's that from? Is that European?
That's here from the East Fork. Here. Yeah. And that is, I have, I think I told you the story of my buying a rhizome of the European anemone, like so much. 6 pieces, and they're inch, half an inch long. And I paid $12 for that. I had to have it, and that is not yet flowering, but the leaf comes out very much like this, and it is very similar. I got it from.
No, this is an anemone, the European anemone.
No, the ones I told you about is European, and it's not yet flowering. There are some leaves in front of them. And the other one flowering is a clump. It's not a clump, it's just come from the rhizome too. It is here from the East Fork.
And that's anemone.
East Fork locally. Anemone piperi. It's very pretty.
What about the one with the plant with the mottled,
Yeah, that is another trillium, which is...
it's a trillium.
Trillium here, it's native.
That's a check.
And then, so I'm not out yet, but I show you the Veronicum under the tree.
Doronicum, Doronicum. That's a spectacular yellow daisy in spring with the tulips timed with.
And here, the phloxes are tall, and this is a white flowering, it's full there, so it's very pretty. There is the campanula. And then behind, coming out now, it looks like a fern almost. That is Timothy Fuga.
Big plant.
Yeah, this is very dominating here. This comes almost 6 feet high.
Sure.
So all the European monkshood in the back, in the front, it was about the same size, 5 feet tall. So my job left for me every year, you can do it on in May, is to divide and replant the chrysanthemums and reduce the growth of the asters. They can keep the same places. Sometimes I take a big clump out and replace it with compost waste.
Did you actually bring some plants across the ocean yourself? Or did,
No.
so plants that are from Europe, you would
I knew
have to
that
buy.
it was forbidden,
Yeah.
and I wanted to be very correct.
Right.
And
Do you
I came without any relation. I met my boss in Pforzheim on the street, and didn't know that he was a millionaire. I knew that he was a well-to-do man, and he asked me whether I wanted to build him a little farm. And I said, without thinking, I said yes. And that's the way I came over. $25 I think was me. Nothing more. And
So a lot of this garden though will remind you of home and back in.
It comes. See, I was always gardening, and as a young man at home, then I had what we call Fernweh. You were longing for faraway countries.
The wanderlust.
And now it's more a little bit, without thinking now, it gets to a garden of yeah.
It goes full circle, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's right.
It's,
But you still take a lot of joy in the native plants. You see from what the little Dutchman's breech is, and
yeah.
fumitory, Caledonia.
Oh, and then of course, well, I'm a plantsman. I mean, when I collect plants, I must say that things which are not appealing to other people, there are a lot that appeals to me. Beautiful grasses. Oh yeah, I should point out there. Go another time. Look at the slope. I have about 25 old plants, each old plants of the Stiucas cabrella or western. It's the best western clump grass we have, bunch grass we have.
How high does it get?
This high.
2.5.
Yeah.
So it would be a native ornamental grass then.
Yeah, if it grows there, I think it is ornamental, but people.
Well, ornamental grasses are the big rage, Klaus.
Yeah.
In certain parts of the country.
I had to plant here because one of our doctors, I forgot his name, but I never knew him personally, came and made a gift to the department, brought a Thomas grass.
Oh, heaven forbid.
And I had to plant it, and I knew in advance it wouldn't succeed here.
Yeah.
And it's
might if you piled snow over it, maybe.
I don't think so.
No, not pampas grass. It's beautiful at this time of year.
Yeah. And later comes the flux comes out. The colors are very harmonized and very. This needs little saturation. Quite dull. And that is a very light pink, this is a sea pink, Armeria,
Armeria, yeah. Thrifty home. I might have a little of that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful color.
This is the difference between a botanist and a man and a landscape designer.
Yeah.
A landscape designer would put 25 junipers, a few delphiniums if you're lucky, and maybe some bulbs.
Yeah.
And a plants man has something different. Every square foot.
And the architect, the studied architect, is proud that he doesn't understand anything of plants.
Well, it's hard. They have to design for the people in the house too, and they have to assume that the person in the house doesn't know enough to maybe, or doesn't have the time and energy and effort wise to put into a garden like that. Yeah.
There's a place where we have geraniums put in some flower.
Right. You have a few annuals.
And I just take out, and next year it's a lawn. Let me growing that. It dies off, it's in life. But I don't wait for it dies. Yeah, this here, that is Presenta popularia. This one, it comes in the first little plant.
It's already bloomed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only now. It's set seed.
It's a type of bleeding heart?
Yeah. Similar like this, but it's still, still finer, more pinkish as well.
Now we had 30 below this winter. Did you notice
Twice.
anything? Yeah, twice. Yeah. Did anything? 35 below up here?
Yeah.
Did you notice that anything was injured by it?
Oh, I think most
You said that you want them at burning bush, maybe.
burning bush, yeah, it's a burning bush too. There is very cool looking in front of the ash there. Then what else was of the trees? Yeah, here, between those birches there. Little occidentalis. In the center was this bush grew very nicely there and flowered very with the sand cherry.
Sand cherry?
Sand cherry, yeah. And no, I was...
no blossoms this year, though?
Not a single.
No.
Not a single.
I think that'll be true of most of those flowering prunus type things. Plums, cherries, apricots.
Yeah. And then, of course, here the yellow thread was taken by,
The golden thread?
Yeah. I managed to keep most of my Korean boxwood there a little bit, doxy.
Oh yeah, we didn't look at that, did we?
No, we didn't look at it. But I had the high snow on top of it.
Well, you probably piled it on top of it. I would too. Yeah. Do those ever reseed the Korean boxwood? No, they don't.
They have the flowers. They have flowers this year. I don't know.
I'd like to get some little seedlings off them someday.
If you would have a warm that,
A warmer area, sheltered spot.
or you could do it in a sort of inside with the house.
Catnip.
Yeah. No, I got them from rooted cuttips. Oh, that's very nice.
I see. Where it went on in 1910, 20, and 30, and many of those plums have been lost.
Yeah.
From cultivation. So
Yeah.
I'll send you a list, but don't expect to find them all.
Yeah. No, I would rather would be grateful if you could say this plum did well, for here for somebody else in Missoula.
Right.
Because I had the
that's more
Italian
difficult because when you go to people's gardens
Yeah.
and you see a little, the American plums are small,
Yeah.
round, red.
Yeah.
They all look the same, and I don't know how to identify them.
Yeah.
So we don't know what
Yeah,
they are.
yeah.
They've been
Yeah.
lost. But there is a young woman that has a little nursery called Horseshoe Grove Nursery up in Paradise. And she's starting to propagate some of these old-time plums. And I'll send you her name and a list of them.
Yeah. Here, there's a plum tree. That is one of the native. Not bad, but I would rather have a dark one.
Oh, you want the European plums?
Yeah, if there is one hardy. Yeah. But we had the Italian bloom here at the center, right? It was never stayed very sour.
Yeah, the European plums.
The bear took care of it for me.
Of the bunch, probably Green Gage is the hardiest.
That's a good plum.
Good plum, Green Gage, but the American hybrid plums are a lot hardier than the European ones. And
there is a home leaf, from my home country, one, we call it the eggplant, yellow eggplant.
there is a plum, American hybrid that's called yellow egg.
Yeah, yellow egg.
Yellow egg. That's a good hardy plum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just like I was saying. Those kind of plums have been lost.
Yeah.
They've been lost to horticulture because nobody wants to grow them anymore.
Yeah, it is not.
It's difficult to find them.
And besides, it's like yellow eggplant. It's very good tasting plants and big plants, but very irregular routine. there.
You're sure, yeah.
Not for the place.
Because they bloom so early, yeah.
That is not what it knows. I remember that I need a young, strong man. And no, I will tell us it. See, here too, for instance, already talking about, I will have to, whether I want it or not, it amounts to terracing. Yeah.
You need to use your rocks.
Yeah. And here I will do it more now in the way as it should done. European rock right now would die this way. But you can plant between the rocks. And what amount to 2, 3 little walls, rock walls there.
Little miniature terraces and stuff.
Yeah. But I can't do that myself, I can.
Well, don't you have any neighbors with good, strong kids?
No. I should, I would.
These are hazels too, aren't they? These are type of hazel?
Okay.
These are what, the American hazel?
No. This is some allowed hybrid. You could, we couldn't import or nothing. You can't have the Corvus Avellana, yeah?
That's the European.
European, yeah. And neither the big ones from California.
Barcelona's like those things.
Yeah. The big ones. No, they can't. I don't know.
They can't import them.
No.
So what kind is this hazel?
Hazelnut, yeah. But it is related to the cedar, of course.
Okay.
It's very small. I don't know. All European nuts we had in the woods were bigger than this one.
This is a European hazel, and it does quite well here.
Yeah. See, when I thought that this belongs to us, and then came the fence survey. Now the surveyor came with the plants in the county, and the whole thing went out there with the lilac there. No, it's still as good as mine. We are very good friends.
Well, I'm glad to see that these showy mountain ash do so well, because I just planted about 10 of them on my land.
Yeah. I have this, and the European was here already, small was there, and I have a European weeded out in the brush there. Took the crouching things around. Yeah, I wanted to show you a few things. I tried Alpine fir here too, and it didn't do.
Up in this corner?
Yeah, I had planted here somewhere. The first years. Now,
We were kind of wanting us to have you show us that little bed there that has quite a few native plants.
this should be exclusively
It should be what?
exclusively for native plants.
Exclusively?
Exclusively, yeah. That should be my native garden here.
So this is your native plant exclusively garden.
This one, I must confess that it's European.
The U?
Because I want to fill it out.
The U is European,
The
yeah.
U is European, yeah.
So what do we have? What's this big broadleaf?
That is Heracleum granatum.
Heracleum,
Yeah.
And that likes quite a bit of water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I water it, and this soil here keeps water.
And what are these little
That is
peltate leaves here?
Saxifrageaceae.
That's a saxifrage,
Very
yeah.
common in the woods.
Does it have white flowers?
Pinkish.
Pinkish, oh,
Pinkish.
okay, yeah. And then this one?
Mitella staropetala is that. Staropetala.
Mitella staropetala,
Yeah,
the saxifrage. And then what's that one out there?
That is a native monkswood.
Monkswood.
And that's very showy. It grows as tall.
Now is it blue or?
Deep blue.
Deep blue.
Pretty color.
We also have a yellow.
Yeah, it's the same kind, just we call it a variety flavor. But,
and these you'd find growing in the bitter roots, or?
I gave you the seeds.
Yes,
of
I
the
have
other
some,
one,
yeah.
And it grows just as tall and in the same conditions. It's interesting is the distribution here. but from Fish Creek is in that area. Fish Creek, it is only this one, deep blue, very pretty blue. And then you go into the bitter roots, and there it is. It's missing on lower elevations, and at around 7,000 feet it pops up, and it's yellow and very pretty in the meadows. You know, about this high, and
it's yellow,
flowering together with red Indian paintbrush.
Paintbrush, yeah. So you find these monk's hoods in wet meadows? Is this where you
meadows,
look?
yeah.
So not necessarily shady?
It's riparian, the growth of the riparian bushes.
Along with interspersed shrubberies and...
There's a lot of it, you know, there's on several places.
And then you have, looks like a yarrow, but probably not.
That is yarrow, or common yarrow.
You mean the worldwide yarrow?
Yeah, I like it very much.
Achelea millefolium.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to have it here.
The one that farmers think is a weed.
Yeah. Well, I think it is mostly a weed.
Yes, it is a weed in most places.
But it should for a long time. See, it's starting already there.
How do you keep it under control? It always wants to spread like crazy.
My long shovel. I have one.
Yeah, shovel it up.
Deep reaching.
What are these little,
that is
what are these little?
Gentiana calicosa.
Oh, it's a gentian.
Yeah.
And what kind of habitat is that native to?
Wet meadows.
Wet meadows?
Yeah, from about 5,000 feet down to over 8.
And how tall will it get when it flowers?
Oh, it's not tall. It's not
just
tall.
short.
It's about like this here. I've never seen it tall. And some of them are hybrids here. See, with glossy foliage and kind of spiny leaves.
The Oregon grape?
Yeah. I had some, this hybrid which originated around Spokane in the woods. The hop nursery man brought it home, obviously between that is Mahonia, Berber's Mahonia, it's called, and the southwesterner.
So the hybrid is sort of halfway between, height-wise, you mean?
Yeah, and I had hybrids there, planted there, and the seedlings, there's the hybrids again, and you never know. But by the way, all the ones I have planted there, and the
up where we first looked,
they were picked out from the raspberries. For some reasons, they came up as seedlings here in the raspberries, and what you there is a kind of shrubbery planted. I planted them with my seedlings for seedlings.
Well, you gave me seedlings of the and the Daphne last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing else I can especially recommend you. To ask if there is. Oh yeah, and I wanted to show you that. Point out the Stuca scabrella.
Oh, the native grass, the ornamental. Scabrella.
I planted those from picked it out from Drummond. Where I was when we go to Drummond. Full of
The Rocky Mountain junipers. Yeah.
Like two different colors.
Very good.
And there you see that did you Jack Schultz, I'm not talking. And Jack has tied them up because I did once 2 years ago, I think, after one winter, it was for the first time that I didn't shake off the snow with the weight down, you know. And everything, before that I shook it off, and this time I did not, and I stayed that way. Came down, and Jack tied him up. And
Do you have hummingbirds already?
oh yeah. Today I constantly
Buzzing of hummingbirds.
yeah, two kinds were there.
I thought I heard them back
Helvey
here.
and the red one.
What was the first flower of the season?
What was the first flower this year?
Native, or first flower was not native, was a winter aconite. I
Oh.
see beneath the
Little yellow ones?
yeah.
I like them. I
And
think
then
that
came the crocuses, the wild crocuses, the little ones.
then you get chinodoxes and
Yeah.
primroses come in pretty quick. Denticulatus,
Yeah.
yeah.
First, very early. So the first week of March.
The first ones up in hills are always little buttercups, aren't they? Seemingly? The little.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
Yeah.
I have some here, but they're not the earliest.
Just like the winter aconite, almost an identical little plant, really.
Yeah, very similar. Whereas with the flower you couldn't tell color it.
Right. Identical size.
This looks quiet now, but it develops very pretty, and it's colorful to June.
Sure, when those dianthus come in and,
Yeah.
oh, the candy tuft too. Sure, that would be spectacular.
Other years, first the deer release, it was and then here was the snow must have been deep enough there.
Where it covered it,
But
sure.
yeah, no, there is snow on top and
Got frozen?
frozen, yeah. The roots were rotten. And
What is this little kind of crescent-shaped bed supposed to be there?
this little, yeah.
Yeah.
The slope, which was grassy, and we were didn't have in front of this crowd. I had to be watered constantly, and it was a nuisance to get the machine out there, you know, to turn around.
And what did you put in there?
Thyme.
Thyme,
Yeah,
creeping thyme.
Creeping thyme, and that's not grass, it's crocuses.
Crocuses, yeah.
Crocus foliage.
Yeah.
And it's very pretty when it flowers.
I bet it is. Yeah.
With two colors of thyme too, white and red, and butterflies love it.
They like the thyme.
Yeah.
Now we're going to look at the part of the garden that's not ever watered.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
And what do we have in here? This is yucca.
Yeah, this is yucca, Spanish, you can call it Spanish bayonet, old name of it, the good one.
Yeah.
And there were more cacti than there are left, and it was thought to deter
The cacti?
kids and dogs.
Oh, I see.
It was worked quite successfully. And the plants here were brought in by building it up in about 72. Was everything planted, and phlox Celsae missouriensis and the phlox alicifolia sealed themselves liberally and persisted. So did
These are the little flocks.
yeah, this is phlox Celsae missouriensis.
What are the little pink ones back here?
Douglasia montana.
That's Douglasia,
Yeah. And
That you find that on Waterworks Hill up at the, along the ridge line.
It came from there originally. And then some rosettes of bitterroot.
You have our state flower, yeah. This is what bitterroot looks like when it's not flowering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this plant has, this whole border has never been watered.
So this is an example of drought-tolerant native plant.
Yes, yes, yes.
I suppose we...
But it has been weeded.
Right.
Yeah.
It's maintained as a garden, and So at this point, maybe we should make the distinction between all the different types of native plants that we have.
Yes.
It's
yes.
maybe some of the...
Yeah. Native plants which would require drought-proof conditions, I would say, like this border here.
Drought tolerant, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great degree drought tolerant. It has literally never been watered,
Right.
this place here. Otherwise, you can see it's a misconception that native plants could be left alone by themselves. We have stronger growing weeds here than
Quackgrass.
quackgrass is one of the worst. Yeah. In my case here, it's a European flower which the Campanula positifolia. It's a peach leaf bellflower, which is has become very weedy. And the other one is still worse and destroys lawns. That is Campanula
Rapunculoides.
rapunculoides. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
The one in Missoula proper.
Yeah. It has been here too. I could eradicate it, dig it up and try every time to. It was reoccurring about 3-4 times,
Right.
and then it disappeared. I don't have it anymore.
So even with native plants, I mean, people think about native plants, they think, well, we've got an opportunity here to have a sort of garden that's in sync with our climate and maintenance, and work-free sometimes enters into the picture, but it's just not the case. That
No.
People should not approach native plants that way. They have to realize that there's drought-tolerant native plants, and there's native plants that need a lot of water.
Yeah.
There's native plants that are quite hardy, and there's native plants that aren't because they're covered with snow all winter.
Right.
So when people pick native plants to use them for gardening, they need to be aware of that. It's still gardening. You still have to weed, you still have to tend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the garden is wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks very much for showing us.
I can think. I can see. I love it very much. It's very important. And I probably wouldn't be getting so old without doing it.
Keeps your fingers nimble and your mind nimble, remembering all those names.
Names slip quite often. No, but
You got so many different types of plants. It's no wonder.